All right, good morning. And today, unfortunately, I have very bad news for a lot of you who are fans of multi-tools. We pretty much have confirmation that the Leatherman crunch has been completely discontinued. We know that because we have people working for Leatherman who have somewhat confirmed this, as well as distributors who can no longer get access to them anymore. And this may be the very first time you're hearing about the Leatherman Crunch being discontinued, because we have heard absolutely nothing out of Leatherman. I spent about 20-30 minutes earlier today just trying to get a hold of someone on the phone. I get nothing but a busy signal, and one of the 1-800 number is actually no longer working for some reason. So that's not good either. But I'm trying to be as constructive as I can with this video and not get too upset. And it's not so much that I would blame a company for discontinuing a product that is not selling well. But you should, generally speaking, you want to communicate with the people who make you money, which are the consumers. And if you don't do that, you leave it up to people like me to write the narrative of what people should know or what people should feel about that given occurrence, right? This happened in the past, so it's not like something that Leatherman has never encountered. When they discontinued the juice, specifically the S2, people were pretty upset about it. And not necessarily a lot of people in America were thinking, oh, this was the worst thing in the world, but some were. A lot of people in Europe who really, this was their go-to tool, they no longer have access. They were already paying a lot of money for them, and now they're not even able to get them at all. But even with that tool, you had a last chance to purchase it. We don't even have that with the crunch. It was just one day it was there, one day it's not, and you can't find it anywhere. And I mean, when I mean anywhere, I mean anywhere. Good luck trying to find a Leatherman crunch right now anywhere on the internet. So it makes me wonder, if it was so bad selling, why can I not find a single one of them? More than that, as somebody who watches eBay and a lot of these secondary sellers, why is it that the Leatherman crunch, of all the multi-tools that I've seen, has commanded a used price above $80 for the last 3 or 4 years, if not longer? I've never seen one go below that price point. That tells me that there's some pretty high demand for that tool. And every single person that I've ever seen put their hands on a locking pair of vice grip multi-tools was blown away by how compact it was and how usable it was for their particular trade. I haven't honestly seen very many bad reviews of the Leatherman Crunch. I don't know about you, but I haven't. Not much controversy there. Most people who use it love it. Now, do I think it's for everybody? No, it wasn't for everyone. But the people who love that tool will be upset by the fact that they will no longer be able to get one. And I mean nowhere. The ones I've seen on eBay right now are about $200 and something. That's how much we're looking at right now. So good luck with that. That could be one reason, the not being able to sell it. That's possible. The other reason could be that they're trying to unify the product line and have implements that are only for either the XL size or the medium size, and have all of the tools utilize those, such as the curl, which we just heard about, a few days before release. We'll get onto that in a second. So if that's the case, as I've stated, there's a chance you won't see things like the Wingman, the Sidekick, the Rev, the OHT anymore, because they all use implements that are dedicated to those lines alone. If they're making these in the US, which honestly, by the way, I want to mention this, most of these components are made in the US. They have limited space in Portland, and they have to make hard decisions about what they are and are not going to produce on a yearly basis. So I don't blame them for that either. Where I get upset about this whole situation is the amazing lack of communication, not just for this, but for almost everything Leatherman has done over the last year, and maybe even further back. We don't see any presence whatsoever on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. And yeah, you say, well, they make a post. Well, they'll repost somebody's stuff. They'll post an advertisement for their specific tool, and that's it. That's the kind of the extent of what we find from them. They'll post a YouTube video about how to use a given tool, even though it's not very in-depth. I just feel like it's such a missed opportunity for them to grow their brand, not because they have new tools, but because they have a new way to outreach to people. So many people in the younger generation maybe have never owned a Leatherman, and you haven't found a way to connect with them, and that's a really big problem. You know who's doing it right, by the way, Leatherman? If you are watching this, go ahead and take a look at the way WorkSharp is running their marketing system. Facebook, Instagram, getting questions and answers, talking directly with customers, doing cool events like putting treasure chests in one state across the country, getting people all hyped up about it. That's how you build connection to people. You get people excited about what you're producing. And think about it, they sell knife sharpeners, and everyone loves what they're doing. They're not exactly the most fancy thing in the world, but the hype around them is huge. We literally just heard about the Leatherman Crunch, formally, in the last week, 1 week prior to release. That's just not very smart. Not if you're trying to make money, at least. I fail to see how money is a justification for lack of marketing when most of the means in which to market today can be accessed even by me. I could put a TikTok video up and all of a sudden get millions of views, or and so on and so forth. Or you could do a special sweepstakes. There's so many things you could do that costs pittance, nothing, for what you gain from it. I don't understand why we're not seeing any of that. So in addition to discontinuing things, silence, it's deafening. I would like to see less of that from you guys. And the reason I'm so critical of Leatherman, just for anyone who's wondering, is because Leatherman is the only company I haven't given up on when it comes to the multi-tool world. Gerber, SOG, they live in Profitville. Okay, they'll do whatever it takes to make that buck. I haven't been convinced otherwise yet. Leatherman still has an opportunity to hold on to that image, and I don't see him doing it. I would like to see it, but I don't. So I'm rooting for you, Leatherman. I want you to do the right thing. I want you to be successful, but you're not even talking to us. So reach out. Not to me. I'm just some guy who likes to collect multi-tools. Reach out to the people who are your mainstays, your tradesmen, your first responders, your military, all of it. Get them involved. Let's start seeing videos of interaction and how we can use them. Get some how-tos by the best in their fields using Leatherman tools. Let's see that, right? Well, I think we'd all like to see how a knife maker utilizes a Leatherman on a daily basis, or electrician uses it to make money, and how that can be advantageous. All of these things we could be channeled directly through Leatherman and isn't being done. And I just would like to see more of that. I think it would make a lot more money for Leatherman. So that's it, kind of a spiel. Sorry to say we've lost the Leatherman Crunch. I know a lot of people are going to be very sad about it. Rest in peace. You guys have a good day.